Ramsuratkumar ki Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanamastu. We can never thank sufficiently Yes, we can never thank sufficiently for all the blessings being showered by Bhagwan, sometimes for no reason at all. In fact, I feel inadequate. So inadequate that I don't find words. Everything, right from the food and the roof and all that we experience, all that we enjoy, is being given by Him. And when you think deeply, this body is also given by Him. This life is given by Him. Where are we in it? Come to think of it, we understand we don't exist at all. It is He who has taken all the forms, has taken the form of the entire creation, every creature, and playing the roles of all, from eternity to eternity, putting up new dramas on the stage, on the world stage, for His own delight, because there's no one else, nothing else. It's He and He alone. My Father alone exists. So it's Father who has become everybody, and it's He who is playing everybody's role. Even to understand this, it takes a lot of tapas, cleansing, and Guru's grace. Now we shall see how Bhagwan put up dramas in the sun of the street to teach specific lessons on different occasions. So let's go to Sanadi Street House and sit at the feet of Bhagwan. He is talking to the devotees there. We see him quoting Tulsidas, and Bhagwan is reiterating. Tulsidas says, whoever helps you to do seva to your Guru or God is your relative, your own, your family. Whoever comes in the way of doing seva to your Guru or God, however close they are to you by birth, know that they are your enemies. And then he goes on to say that Tulsidas says that it doesn't matter what people think of me. People may think that, you please tell her to stop. Tulsidas says that, Vijay, Tulsidas says that if people call Tulsidas a fraud, a fake, it doesn't matter. Some people call Tulsidas a jnani, a great bhakta of Rama. It doesn't matter. What matters is that Tulsidas is a tool, a servant of Rama. That alone matters. And then Bhagavan went on to say, it doesn't matter what people think of this beggar. Even when this beggar calls himself a beggar, people say all kinds of things. That under the torn mat, this beggar is hiding money. There are people who think that this beggar is God, Sri Rama himself. It doesn't matter what people think, what people say. This beggar lives only for the sake of Father's work. This beggar is a tool. Every thought, word and deed are being completely governed, controlled by my Father, who runs the whole cosmos. And then Bhagwan says, who is a jnani? We people who have become one with God. We simply relay like a radio station all that comes from God. There is nothing else, no one else here in the body, in this body. We are like radio stations, simply relaying the programs of God. And then Bhagwan said, so it's better to be a servant of God, better to serve your Guru or God. In the Bhagavad Gita, the last, there are 700, but the last sloka is this. Krishna says, after explaining so much about various aspects of yoga, he ends up with this: Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraj aham tva sarva papebhyo moksheshyami ma shucha. Sarva dharman parityajya. Whatever you think is virtue, whatever you think is dharma, and there are many dharmas. Dharma of a place, dharma pertaining to a certain time, dharma for a householder, dharma for a sannyasi, your dharma towards animals, your dharma to the women, one's dharma to the children. But above all these dharmas, the supreme dharma is take refuge in me completely. Mamekam sharanam. You surrender to me completely. Then what will I do? I will liberate you from all the sins, no matter how terrible, how deadly the sins are. I will liberate you in a second from all the sins. Do not doubt. So Bhagavan was assuring, by repeating Krishna's words, he is assuring all the devotees. Okay, you have this dharma, that dharma, so many dharmas. You have to observe them as a householder, as a sannyasi. You have to do your duty. But above all, if you decide to dedicate yourself to serving a guru or serving God, if you decide that your life is only for the sake of God, that is the highest dharma, for which sake you can sacrifice other dharmas. You offer all those dharmas at my feet and observe the highest dharma of surrendering to me. After this assurance, Bhagwan says, people with little intelligence, they are more rooted in faith. People with high intelligence, they have to analyze everything. They have to be convinced of something before they start practicing. It takes a long time for them. But people with little intelligence will be able to accept things in faith, and they reach God earlier. It's only with people with high intelligence. They will see a table as a table. They will see everything as it is seen in this world. So there will be differences. But people with more faith and less intelligence, they will begin to see Krishna in everything. If people say there's only Krishna, they will be able to believe. This faith is something very deep. It is intuitive knowledge. That's what Sri Aurobindo says. That true knowledge, it doesn't have to come through the brain. It comes in intuition. It's called intuitive knowledge, faith. So if someone possesses faith, we should not make fun of them. We should bow before them, because they've crossed the intellect and gone to the realm of intuition. And then Bhagwan said, when Shanmugam was there, one of the visitors, Bhagwan pointing out to him, said, Shanmugam wrote in a letter 36 and said, this number you see 3 and 6, they are turning in opposite direction. 3 is turning opposite to 6 and 6 is turning away from 3. So these two numbers, 3 and 6, they are turning away from each other. And they make one number, 36. If you write 63, 3 and 6, both numbers are facing the same direction. So Shanmugam says that when you deal with worldly affairs, you should be like the number 36. When you get absorbed in God, when you begin to do seva to the Guru or God, then you should be like 63, facing only one direction. All the differences in you must dissolve, so your entire being should be turning towards God. This beggar writes 63. When you write it in Hindi, you see 6 is turning towards 3 and 3 is turning towards 6. So both the numbers make one single number, 63. But when you write them, 6 and 3 are turning to each other, and they are so close to each other. So this is how you must become close to God. You must turn towards God and get closer to Him. It's not enough you turn in one direction, you should get closer to God. So he makes use of this numbers to make this point that turning towards God is okay, but you must turn closer to God. That you should see to it that your sadhana takes you closer and closer to God. It should not be dry. It should not be a mere talk. And then Bhagwan says, as he said, the divine is enacting drama after drama after drama on the world stage from eternity to eternity. Now you see Bhagwan playing something like he played with this number 63 in Hindi. He was saying that he had a dream. He and Agaram, all this were culled from Agaram Jayaraman's diary in 79, 80s. So Bhagwan says, Jayarama, yesterday night when we went inside Sanadi Street house, we were only two. But when this beggar went to sleep, he had a dream. And in the dream, there was some divine music. It was so enjoyable. And what was more, I saw many people around. There was Justice Ramakrishnan and some people. This beggar could recognize some people also. But how is it, Jayarama? When we entered Sanadi Street house, we were only two. But when I dreamed, it was so many people. And what was more, it was so real, the music was so divine, this beggar enjoyed, rejoiced in it. It was so sweet, so divine, and it was so real. How is it, Jayarama? He asked like an innocent boy. We were only two when we entered, and then how did it become so many people? When we entered, it was silence, but how is that the divine music was heard? And when Jayaraman kept quiet, Bhagwan said, see Jayarama, when you dream, in the dream everything is so real. You do not even know that it's a dream. Everything is so real, you live every moment of your dream, every detail of your dream. It's only when you wake up, you know that it's been a dream all along. Like that, this life is a long dream. We have all been made to sleep in Maya. So this is a dream, it's a long dream. There is an awakening from this. When we wake up out of this dream, only then we will know the life that we have been living all through is Maya, is a dream, that none of it is true. It's a great, lofty truth. Bhagwan, just talking about his dream, he explained the loftiest truth. How this life is only Maya. But how will you know it is Maya? It's only when you wake up. It's only when you wake up from a dream, you would know it is. Otherwise, it's so real. If a snake should chase you, you run away, you run for life, as though the very devil is after you. It's so real, you are trembling out of fear. But when you wake up, you find yourself in your room very safe, secure, and no snake, no forest. And then slowly you calm down. So this awakening from the Maya of life is very important, and one should do Guru Seva to get this awakening. And then Bhagwan played another drama. When Agaram Jayaraman and Bhagwan came out, Bhagwan saw in one place something dark. And then he said, Jairama, don't go near, don't touch that. But Jairama knew, one look at it, he knew it was only the cobweb. It had fallen from the roof. It was a little long and it looked like a snake. But he knew instantly, one look at it, he knew it was cobweb. Wouldn't Bhagwan know that? He always knew. All the visitors, all the devotees who visited him, different periods, knew that Bhagwan knew their details even before they conveyed, even if they didn't convey. But Bhagwan pretended. Bhagwan said, Jairama, don't go near. And then Jairaman assured him, Swami, this is only a piece of cobweb. Oh, it is cobweb, Jairama. All right, you go take it, remove it. And then Jairama, do you see? When this beggar thought it was cobweb, this beggar was trembling. When this beggar thought it was snake, this beggar was trembling in fear. Now after you said it's only cobweb, just see how this beggar is reacting. The knowledge that it's only a cobweb and not a snake, what a difference it makes in our reaction to it. Jairama, when you know that this world is Maya, all the sufferings that you go through, then you will be very calm. You will be able to face the challenges of life better. So Bhagwan was pointing out great, lofty truths through simple enactments. When Bhagwan said that those people who are helping you to serve your Guru or to serve God, they are your family, they are your relatives. So one day he said, when you have this body has been given to you by God, and there are various parts of the body. The function of the eyes is to see, and the function of the ears is to hear, the function of the mouth is to speak, the function of the hands is different from the function of the legs. Each one has a specific job to do. If the eyes should get jealous of legs, can you walk on the eyes? If the legs should get jealous of eyes, can the legs see? But each one has a very specific function to do. And they are all connected to each other. They are all situated in one body together in great harmony. If a mosquito should bite you at the back, the minute you know it is there at the back, your hand reaches out to the spot. And for the hand to reach out to the spot, your whole body cooperates so that this action is done. Suppose your legs, your body would not cooperate at all. What would happen? No action will be got done. So for every action, the cooperation of all parts of the body is necessary. So one should not compare oneself with others and get jealous. You have your own duty to do, and the other person has his own duty. And one should not transgress. One should not imitate the other. So, Bhagwan, from time to time, through some simple act, some enactment, reminds all of us what it is to live this life. Now, to such Bhagwan, we shall offer our prayers today, that we seek Bhagwan's divine intervention, immediate divine intervention